What's going on, guys, and welcome back to WWE Network and Chill, where every single week I, Graham Jason Matthews, break down all the original content I watch on the WWE Network as well as on the USA Network, as today we're talking Season 1, Episode 9 of Miz and Mrs., entitled Miz Maryse Alone Time. So we kick off the episode with something completely unrelated, with Marjo FaceTiming Miz about an issue she's facing with the golf cart, because she took it out even though she was banned from using the golf cart. And I think the last episode or two, she was banned from using the golf cart. She used it anyway. I think it was the last episode where that happened. But yeah, she FaceTimed Miz about it, said that she was dealing with an issue. She couldn't get it back up the hill. So Miz has to go meet Marjo and push the fucking cart back up the hill. So again, completely unrelated, but it was a funny way to kick off the show. The actual issue that we're dealing with in this episode is that Miz has nowhere to sleep in the bed that they sleep in between Maryse, the baby, Monroe Sky, and the two dogs. Miz has nowhere to sleep. He cannot rest and sleep comfortably in his own bed. So he suggests putting Monroe in her own nursery, in her crib. But since I think the nursery is in another part of the house, and after seeing, there was a montage where they're going up and down, because they obviously try it, and putting Monroe Sky in her own room somewhere else in the house, but it's not like the nursery is right down the hall, or right next to their room. It's all the way downstairs. So they have to go up and down, up and down. That's probably why they didn't try it in the first place. But the baby's only a few months old. I think she was born in April. It's around August, September, around the time that this episode was taped. So the baby's only 4 or 5 months anyway. Only about 4 or 5 months old anyway. So it's probably a good idea to have Monroe Sky sleep in their bed. Miz doesn't like that. So he talks to R-Truth about it backstage at SmackDown. He says, listen, I can't really do this anymore. I gotta have my alone time with my wife. At what age did you start having your own kids stop sleeping in your bed? And R-Truth is like, oh, my daughter just turned 3. Now she's sleeping in her own bed. So Miz is like, I'm not waiting until my daughter turns 3 to have her start sleeping in her own bed. I gotta get this shit over with ASAP. He doesn't want to wait that long. I cannot wait that long to get intimate with my wife at night, whatever. A little TMI, but that's kind of what this episode is all about. Nonetheless, so R-Truth tells him, forget all about the alone time. Forget all about the alone time. It's not happening, so just move on, because the baby's way too young. You're just going to be dealing with this for a long time. You're just going to have to eat shit, suck it up, and deal with it. Meanwhile, Maryse wants Miz to fix things up around the house. She wants to hire a handyman. Miz, being the macho man that he is, wants to do it himself. So he fixes things up. He fixes some things up around the house, and Marjo goes with Miz to get some errands done. And they stop for food on the way because they get bored, or she gets bored, whatever. So Miz buys her food, and Miz relays his issues to Marjo while in the car with her, saying, I need my alone time. I'm not getting my alone time because of Monroe Sky. The baby was just born, and she's sleeping in her bed. What should we do? Blah, 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 blah. And he should not have done this, because although Marjo technically lives in the same house as Miz and Maryse, you don't want your mom knowing all this inside TMI, too much information shit. And so he tells her all about the issues that he's dealing with at the moment, and Marjo, responding in the only Marjo way that she can, says, yeah, I know you want to have sex with my daughter, blah, blah, blah. You're just going to have to get used to not dealing with that for right now. Miz is like, oh, God, I do not want to hear about this from you. Who would want to? Who would want to hear about that stuff from their mother-in-law? And obviously, Maryse doesn't want to hear about it either. But that's on Miz, because he should not have brought up the issues that he was dealing with in the first place. So they take a step in trying to fix up and trying to solve this issue and putting Monroe in her nursery. They have Monroe sleep in her nursery overnight and see how it goes. It doesn't go well. They have to keep going up and down all night long because the baby does not stop crying. Nor should it. It's fucking 4 or 5 months old. It's the first time the baby has slept on its own. It's obviously scared. Doesn't know what to expect. And granted, it's a baby. But still, that's a pretty big change to go from sleeping in the same bed as your parents to your own room that's in another part of the house. So that doesn't go well. They scrap that idea. Miz once again gets some work done around the house. He goes out running. He goes out for a jog. Maryse calls him on the phone while he's out running. She goes, hey, the baby just got put to sleep. Come on back and we'll have some fun, if you know what I mean. He's like, holy shit. So he fucking darts back to the house. He's like a mile out. He darts back to the house. But Monroe gets back up well before he gets home. So Miz walks in the door, is like, okay, I'm ready, let's have some fun, blah, blah, blah. Maryse goes, Monroe woke up like literally right after I talked to you. So then why didn't you call Miz back and say, hey, the baby's up, don't come home? She didn't do that for whatever reason. She probably wanted him back. He's like, are you kidding me? So what did I write down here? Mrs. Mom flies in all the time. Oh, okay. So yeah, the mom helps out any way that she can. Mrs. Mom, that is, helps out with Monroe Sky. Margelle helps out and Mrs. Mom helps out, but it's sometimes just not enough. Miz and Maryse want their own alone time for just a little while. So Miz and Margelle, they argue about the whole shit. They bring it up once again. Margelle says that, they should be having their alone time. They should be doing their giggity googity, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And Maryse is like, oh, why is she using that terminology? It's a little weird. But she ends up giving Miz and Maryse some alone time by going to watch the baby. So good on Margelle for doing a good deed and helping out Miz and Maryse. So they do their thing and blah blah blah. They get it done. Maryse talks about wanting a handyman. So Miz doesn't have to do everything, which he can't do everything anyway, because he tried to fix something up and he couldn't do it. He kind of fucked it up, and Miz is like, yeah, let's just call a handyman. And they're talking about this stuff while after having sex, obviously. They're just kind of sitting outside on the patio discussing all these things. And Maryse is like, oh, I want to go home Monroe. I kind of miss her, even though we haven't seen her for a little bit, blah, blah, blah. It's only been a little bit, but I miss her, blah, blah, blah. Miz goes, oh, you're going to have to wait 10, 15 minutes because you're not going to want to do what we just did in there and then go hold our baby. That's gross. Maryse is like, well, how much more time do we have? 10, 15 minutes. And Miz is like, yeah, so let's go for another round. It's a little TMI with Miz and Maryse here, and this episode being all about their sex life. But, it was a good episode, short and sweet, nothing too notable about this episode compared to the others. It was fine. It was by no means a must-see episode, in the words of the Miz, but it was alright. So check it out on the USA Network, Season 1, Episode 9 of Miz and Mrs., entitled Miz and Maryse Alone Time. And we'll be back next week with another all-new review of Miz and Mrs. right here on WWE Network and Chill. So until then, guys, be sure to like this video, drop a comment, share the video, subscribe to the channel for more content here on the channel. And in addition to new network and chills, you can check out #AskGSM, Wrestle Rant Radio excerpts, all the videos they've been posting from WrestleMania weekend. Slowly but surely, they're getting up here on the channel. I posted all the videos from TakeOver just yesterday, so check those out as well. Until next time, guys, I'm Graham GSM Matthews. Have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll catch your ass down the road.